Okay, let's dive in. It's January 2026. And, if you really stop for a second and just feel the air, it's like there are these two massive forces pulling on us.
You can really feel it. It's almost a physical tension.
It is. On one side, you've got this white-hot glare from Silicon Valley. It's just relentless. It's all about acceleration, promising this future that's, well, it's chromed out and moving at a speed that's just, it's hard to even process.
And then the other side is this ancient, quiet, almost desperate human need for stillness. I need to just stop, to breathe.
Exactly. It's that tension, right? The machine world is yelling, go faster, optimize ship. And the human biological world is just whispering, please slow down. And the spark for this today isn't just a feeling, it's something really specific. It's an update from Elon Musk.
About the Cybercab and the Optimus robot.
Right.
And what's fascinating to me is that, on the surface, this is just business news. It's manufacturing updates, it's cycle times. But if you listen to the language, the philosophy behind it, it's, I don't know, it's almost theological.
Theological. That's a strong word for a factory update.
I think so. I mean, when you hear a phrase like insanely fast, or this promise that technology will just eliminate waiting from your life, that hits something deep in us, it's promising a kind of deliverance from the burden of time itself.
Okay, so that's the mission for this deep dive then. We're not just talking about robotaxis, we're talking about, what did you call it?
Tech spirituality.
Tech spirituality. I like that. So the question is, how do we keep our interior sanity when the world outside is demanding insane production? How do we build that stoic citadel of the mind, so it doesn't get breached?
And from my side, how do we interpret this promise of deliverance? Because that's what so much of tech is selling, isn't it? Salvation from the wait.
Okay, let's get into the specifics then. The whole thing kicked off with a response Musk gave to Sawyer Merritt, who'd shared this video of the unboxed manufacturing process.
We should probably explain what unboxed even means.
Yeah, good point. It sounds like jargon, but it's actually a pretty radical idea.
Right. For a century, a car moves down a line. It's a conveyor belt. You put the chassis on, you add the doors, then the seats. It's all linear. If one part gets stuck,
the whole line stops.
The whole line stops. But unboxed completely changes that. It breaks the car into these sub-assemblies. The front, the back, the floor, the sides, they're all built at the same time in different spots.
And then they just snap them together at the end. It's modular.
And the promise attached to this is, it's wild. They're talking about a cybercab rolling off the line in under 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Just count that out. 1, 2, 3. A third of the way to a new car.
It's a heartbeat. It's a rhythm that's almost faster than you can think.
But, and this is where it got really interesting for me, Musk admitted something. He brought up the S-curve. He said initial production is inversely proportionate to how many new parts you have.
And with Cybercab and Optimus,
almost everything is new.
Which means the start is, and this was his phrase, agonizingly slow.
Agonizingly slow. I love that honesty. From a Stoic view, it's just this perfect acceptance of natural law. Even the masters of velocity, even Tesla, they have to bow to the physics of complexity. You can't cheat the S-curve.
It's like farming, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can have the best tractor in the world, the best seeds, but you can't force the harvest. There's a natural period of gestation you just have to respect.
Exactly. You can have all the capital, the smartest people, but if you're building something truly new from scratch, you have to endure the flat part of that curve. You have to get through the winter.
And I think there's a really profound metaphor in there for any listening. I mean, if you feel stuck right now, if your own progress feels agonizingly slow, it might not be a sign that you're failing. It could be that you're building something completely new.
You're building your own personal Optimus. You're in the prototype phase.
Precisely. You're just on that early flat part of the S-curve, the insanely fast part, that breakthrough.
Yeah.
It only comes after you've laid that agonizing foundation. The slowness isn't a bug. It's a feature of creation.
That is a really comforting thought. We all want the insanely fast part without the agonizingly slow part, don't we?
Who do?
But let's pivot to that promise. Because once they're through that slow phase, that insane speed is the goal.
And that's where we get into what I'd call the velocity trap.
The velocity trap. Okay, unpack that.
Well, just look at the cultural message. The promise behind what Musk is doing, and really what modern life is promising, is that the highest human achievement is just the annihilation of delay.
Right.
If we can just remove that space between I want it and I have it, then we've won.
And that creates a kind of a tyranny of the urgent.
It does. It recategorizes your time. Time spent just reflecting or waiting or thinking It's not seen as valuable. It's seen as inefficiency. It's friction that needs to be engineered away.
And that is so risky. I mean, if we design a world that's so seamless, we never have to pause. We never have to ask why we're even moving.
Or where we're going.
Yeah. We risk this complete disorientation of the human spirit. We evolved with the rhythm of seasons, of sunrise and sunset, not the ephemeral velocity of a factory floor where a new reality pops out every 10 seconds.
It goes beyond the rational. When you start using words like insanely fast, you're talking about a spiritual state. It's a kind of ecstatic hyperfuturism, the blur of the world flying by. It's the rapture of pure speed.
A blur can be dangerous, though. Let's bring the robot into the room, Optimus. Jason Calacanis said he visited the facility, saw Optimus 3, and claimed it could overshadow the entire car business.
It's a robot that's bigger than the car.
Yeah.
That just changes the entire foundation of labor, of what it means to work.
And then you have the analyst, Pierre Hadot, pointing out that Tesla is 7 times more capital efficient than Waymo.
7 times.
That's a huge gap.
It is. But I want to contrast that idea of capital efficiency with, let's call it spiritual efficiency.
Okay, what does spiritual efficiency look like?
Well, think about it. We're building these amazing machines to do our work, to drive our cars. We're freeing up all this time and mental energy. But the real question is, what are we doing with that freedom?
Are we just filling the space with more noise, more scrolling?
Exactly. This is where I think of Pierre Hadot's idea of spiritual exercises. Just like Tesla is ruthless about curating its capital to get the most output from the least input, we have to curate the architecture of our attention.
The architecture of our attention. That is a core Stoic discipline. Seneca said, life is long if you know how to use it.
It is. The real test for us now isn't whether we can build a fast machine. The test is whether we can slow down our own internal decision-making. Can you be in a cybercab going 80 miles an hour and maintain a mind that's perfectly still?
That's the real challenge, isn't it? It's easy to be calm sitting by a quiet lake. It's much harder to find that calm inside the velocity trap.
And that's the heart of tech spirituality.
So, how do we put this all together? We're living in a world with unsupervised full self-driving, with AI-4 chips, with Dojo 3 coming online. The sheer power of it is just exploding.
And we can't match it.
Yeah.
If you try to go speed for speed with the machine, you'll just burn out.
So the Stoic anchor in all this is the faster the chariot, the steadier the driver has to be.
Yes.
I think about the original Stoics, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius. They didn't live in peaceful times. They lived in chaos. Plagues, political collapse, war. Their whole project was figuring out the limits of their control.
And what was their conclusion?
That true sovereignty isn't controlling the external world. You can't control the Cybercab production line. You can't control politics. True sovereignty is the quality of your own judgment. It's that inner citadel.
And I'd pair that with the idea of a sanctuary. We have to consciously design moments of non-productivity, not as a luxury, but as necessary maintenance.
Like a pit stop in a race.
Exactly like a pit stop. If you don't take it, the car falls apart. We treat our minds like they can run on insane mode forever. They can't.
I keep thinking about the traffic analogy. You know, right now you're driving, you're stressed, you're yelling at the guy who cut you off. But in a cybercab, you're not driving.
So what do you do with that time? Do you just pull out your phone and start firing off emails? Do you let the tyranny of the urgent follow you into the car? Or do you use that time for intentional self-examination?
You find the unmoving center of the self while the world blurs past the window.
That is the goal, to be the still point in a turning world.
It's funny you say turning world because Musk also mentioned something even bigger. Space-based AI compute.
Right, with Dojo 3 and the AI-7 chips.
We're talking about taking all this power and putting it into orbit, an expansion outward.
And there's such a beautiful parallel there. As humanity reaches outward into space, into the macrocosm, we have to reach inward with the same force.
Into the microcosm.
Into the soul. The deeper we go into the stars, the deeper we have to go into ourselves. If we don't, we're just spreading our own confusion across the galaxy.
Yeah.
We really don't want to export our anxiety to Mars.
That is a very sobering thought. We have to colonize our own minds before we try to colonize other planets.
Beautifully put.
Let's bring it back to Earth for a second, to the market reaction. TSLA stock dipped, 4% on the news, then it gained a tiny bit back. It's volatile. But the long-term trends, the quality score, are favorable.
And isn't that just a perfect metaphor for life itself?
How so?
If you track your life minute by minute, the slip of a bad interaction, the gain of a good cup of coffee, you're going to be an emotional wreck. That's the daily volatility.
You're watching the ticker tape of your own mood.
Exactly. but a quality life,
Yeah.
real quality, that comes from the long-term view. It's not about the 4% drop on a Tuesday. It's about the favorable trend over 10 years.
That's a Stoic perspective again. Just zoom out. Look at the whole chart, not just the last little candle.
And it all connects back to the S-curve. If you only look at that flat, agonizingly slow beginning, you'd think the whole project is a failure. You have to have the perspective to know that the curve goes up.
So what's the takeaway for the person listening right now?
I think this Cybercab news, as strange as it sounds, is a profound prompt. It's a mirror being held up to us.
It's forcing us to ask, okay, the machines are getting smarter and faster. Are we getting deeper?
The brilliance being poured into accelerating production. It has to be met by an equal commitment to deepening our reflection.
I love that. So for you listening, if today felt agonizingly slow,
remember that you're just on the early part of your own S-curve. You are laying a new foundation.
and the insanely fast breakthrough can't happen without this. This patience is the work.
And if you feel completely overwhelmed by the speed of everything, the news, the tech, the demands on your time, just take a breath and remember you survived the velocity of today.
You're still here. The citadel is still standing.
And the highest form of progress isn't about how fast you arrive at the end. It's about how present you are for the journey.
So here's a final thought to leave you with tonight. The speed of the machine, of the world out there. It may be insane, but ask yourself this. Does the consciousness of the rider remain sane?
That's the only question that really matters.